Hello, BookTube. I'm here with a sort of rambly Sunday video, and it's going to be on publishing. And I've been toying with this idea, but after reading Lost Illusions by Honor de Balzac, that is set in the 1820s, first in a provincial country town, then Paris, about a poet and novelist who wants to make his way in the writing world, and he's a lot of issues and stuff like this. But I was just reflecting on how sort of things with publishing are very similar to what it was then and how it's changed today. And because of social media and most particularly the internet and digital publications, you got your traditional publishers who put out, have a staff of people that get manuscripts in, vet it, and go, okay, yeah, we can do something with this. And then work with, this is the traditional way. I know things are changing and doesn't always happen like this, even with publishers, but you work with the author to make it as best as you can, because the publisher has skin in the game. They want to make money off this. They want that author to succeed so they can make money. So they will work with that author to in order for that to happen. But then on the other hand, like what you had then too, the traditional way was that you had a subscription service where you've got a book. A publisher might depends how far back you go. Publisher might endorse this, but they want to sell. Like they'll say, okay, print runs 1,000 copies. We need to sell 800 of these. Pre-sell them before we even go into printing. So that gets shopped around. People buy, a subscription to it, and then a lot of times they'll get their name in the book that they subscribe to it, and all the whole 9 yards. And then there was another one called a vanity publisher that basically, and I've got a few things here like this where like they're poetry books, and they're of young people. They died when they're young, but they wrote poetry. So the family wants to have this immortalized, so they will go to a publisher and pay a printer and pay to have a book made from their child's poetry. Sometimes they put things in like curl of hair and stuff like that too, which I find a little weird, but all sorts of stuff like that. And then it's not just that of deceased people, it's people that are alive. Like they've written a book and they want to see their book on the shelf. So they will pay to get however many copies made. Vanity publisher. It's a vanity type thing. So now let's fast forward to today. We still got your traditional publishers. How much they will work with the author and making it better and is questionable today, but I'm not going to go there. But there's still that traditional way. They still have skin in the game that they want to make money. That's the simple part. Then you do still have the subscription type things. There's many of them, but one of them is Unbounders, which is a website that will take the manuscript, and then you create a page, almost like a Patreon type page, but you have different tiers, and as soon as so much money is raised for the printing, then it goes into the printing stage. It's almost a self-publishing, but it's a little more than that. But I don't know. See, the thing, and I think it depends on the place that does this, how much editing that is done in house. Some of them are just the facilitators for the venue of getting your stuff out there, the website, and then you, as the author, you have to do everything else. You've got to provide the completed and corrected manuscript at the end. Then now you have self-publishing, which is the biggest thing. Now, that literally means self-publishing. I publish something. So that means anybody and everybody can publish something. There is no holds barred there. It doesn't matter the quality of it, how good it is, how many spelling errors there are in it. It can be printed and put into a book form as a print on demand book. Now that, obviously, just from that is, like, I hope, sends up sort of a few flares, but also some good things. It allows people to subvert the big publishers. That's a great thing in of itself. But there's big publishers and there's smaller publishers, as everybody knows, independent publishers. And somehow the self-publishing is called independent publishing, which I think is a bit of a misnomer. It's self-publishing. Independent publisher are the smaller publishers, the independent publishers away from the big conglomerates. That's how I define them, and I think that's the proper way of doing it, in the sense of proper way in the publishing world. But social media has changed things. It becomes the everyday use, in other words. But anyway, so you've got anybody that can publish something and have a book in print. You don't need to have an editor. You don't even need to have a proofreader. You don't even need to have anybody other than yourself look it over, and then you have it published. You don't need any of that stuff. Nobody else needs to look at it, and you can have a book out there that if somebody wants to plunk their money down, or even free, if or for the cost, basically, or especially if it's ebook, then it can be free. You can give it out there for free. Your words, So there's lots of good things about this. But let's look at some of the not so good things with this. As I say, no one needs to look at it. So you don't need an editor. But people have said, oh, well, I'll hire an editor. Yeah, hire an editor that will do the punctuation, spelling, grammatical corrections, all this kind of stuff. But very few of those editors will do anything more. And because I know I've spoken to some, and I know a few that do this kind of thing, and they don't tread on anything else. They don't say, oh, you've got a really good scene here, but this part lets it down. You should change this or take this out and rewrite it this way, and it'll make it tighter. No. They don't say that. Even if they're asked to do that, most of them don't do it, because they usually are told get lost, because most people don't want to do that. That generally doesn't happen. I would say 99% of the time doesn't happen. And that's where that happens, or it should happen in a proper publishing world, with a publisher, with editors, because they have skin in the game. They want to make money of it. The editor has already made their money. They're getting a fee. That's it. That's their job done. So and I just keep coming back to that it's good, but you have to be very careful, because it's what you want to do. I would say if you write something, get it out there in other ways, and if you do, and that's where social media can be good, it can be bad, but social media can be good because you get stuff out there. You get complete strangers, and a lot of times strangers on social media, they are not shy of saying their opinions, not at all. They will say how great it is and how good it is. Like, you don't want people to say, oh, that's marvelous, oh, that's crap. What you want is people to say, that's marvelous because this is what I really like about it, and then give you some constructive reasoning for that. And the same as, oh, I think this is crap because whether you take that in or not, whether they're right or not, is completely else. But at least you're getting some type of feedback. It's not the greatest of feedback at all, because most people out there that give those opinions, that feel that they need to do that, don't know what they're talking about generally. The people that know what they're talking about usually don't give their opinions, so that's a little difficult to get those opinions out of people who actually know something that can be helpful to you. And that's the difficult part. So, and the other thing is that I said that anybody could do this. Like literally, you could have a dog with his paws on the keyboard, and you could publish that. That's how it is. That's how easy it is to do something like this. But there's different ways of doing it as well. So that is something, because I would never go to self-publish my stuff. I don't think it's not something that I would do unless I actually had an audience already, and then the publisher was causing me issues for other ways, and then I would go that way. And that happens. But think of it yourself as a reader. When you've got not just 10,000 books coming out every year, fiction-wise, I'm just pulling a number out of the air, you potentially have 150,000 of, your next door neighbor, the bus driver, publishing a book. How do you know? There's no way you can navigate this stuff. All you can do is occasionally, maybe, word of mouth getting things, and word of mouth is great, but it's I don't even bother trying to look for that kind of stuff, because I have other things to do with my time, so that is too time consuming for me. Oh yeah, the other one that we're saying, like we did the subscription with the Unbounders, is the vanity publishers. That's morphed into something more malicious these days with social media. And they are the type of things, they're not an actual publisher, most of them. What they've set themselves up as is someone that's with either a big social media presence, or a smaller one, and usually self-publish themselves, not always, but usually self-publish themselves. Usually they don't have any degrees in editing or anything like that, which can mean a difference in this kind of thing. But the key is that they want you to, pay me, and I will vet it, and I will publish it for you in my publication. But you pay me. The key is that you pay me to do that. That's right there. That should ring alarm bells and run to the hills. Run for your ever writing life. You should never do something like that, because they are going to be shysters. Because if you look into it, they have no qualifications, and you might like what they've written. That's fine. And you might, there might be some advice from there, but is it worth paying for that advice from them? That's the question you've got to ask yourself and answer. And most of the time, their so-called publishing company is not a real publishing company. It doesn't have an ISBN. Sometimes they're just photocopied sheets stapled together and sold, like on eBay, Etsy, and dozens of other outlets that are online that are creative type things. And they have no ISBN, I said, or if it's a periodical type thing, it doesn't have an ISSN number. They're not usually done properly. Usually they're not even printed properly. They may get a little fancy and do proper, digital printing, print on demand, where it's perfect bound if it's a big enough piece. But it's they are shysters. And I'm not talking about publishers who are things like lulu.com, which are a little different because they're a platform where it allows you to access direct to the printers. Those are different things. These are ones, and there are dozens out there. When I finally decided I wanted to shop around my collection of poetries, I was told about things I looked into, and you know, contacting these places say, yeah, we will publish it for you for a fee, and it's more than the fee of the administrative cost and the keeping the file at the printers and all this stuff. It's a heck of a lot more than that. It's like it's as if they're pretending to provide you for a service. No, this is the case where it should be. If you are going to a publisher, the publisher should either make a contract, have actual contracts as well. You need to have a contract of some sort. It has to be a legal contract. And make sure that regarding the copyright, whether you keep the copyright or they have it for a certain length of time or whatever the situation is. But it needs to be spelled out clearly in the contract. And they either pay you an upfront fee for it, which most won't if it's the first book, or they'll say, every book sold, you'll get this percentage. Or it'll be something like, once 100 copies are sold, then you start getting this percentage off the book. And then if it sells 500 copies, then the percentage will go up. Or it might be that we will publish it for you. We will take all the expense of the publishing, but we're not going to pay you anything, but you get your book out there as an actual we will look at it. We will work with you to make it better, and we have in-house editors and that can do this. But you're not going to get any money off it unless it sells in the 10,000 copies or something like that. Those can very well be, well, they can be fake, but they can be legitimate ones too. But if it's right up front, they're shysters. It's a vanity publisher, and they're shysters because they are trying to get money off you. So don't do that. Go if you want to do something like that, spend a little time, send your stuff around, throw it out on social media, let other people say things. And if you still don't want to go to the publisher, then go to somewhere else where you don't have to pay. You self-publish it through a different way. I've already mentioned a few of those, and you could go there. I'm not advocating any specific one in any shape or form. So that's publishing today, and it's something that I like. The last part here was something that I wanted to get off my chest because I see this so much, and I'm and again, I'm not like I named a few things like Unbounders, but I think they're good. I think anything. Publishers are good and bad, but the shysters. No, I'm not going to name any names of anybody that does this. All you have to do is look on Facebook, look on if there's Facebook groups that deal with these publishers, all sorts of things like that. There's Twitter, YouTube. You name it, TikTok. They're everywhere. They are everywhere. And all I'm saying is just beware of this. And the other thing is that I think every person who writes or creates something should always question and realize that what they think of their own work may not be the be all and end all of it. Question, is it good? It's the best that you can do and you like it. Friends and family might say it's good, but that's not quite good enough if you want to go outside for things like that. And having the self-publish is a great way to do that. It's a great way to test it if it doesn't cost you anything. So that's why I say don't pay a shyster to pretend to edit you and to pretend to publish you. They are not doing all those things. They are lining their pockets, and sometimes not with a lot of money either, but it's a little bit. And it's just I that's the one thing that I have a little bit against that, because I've seen people go down this route and have been fleeced. Not for huge amounts of money, like we're not talking tens or thousands of dollars or pounds, but even hundreds of dollars, you know, and it's usually by people who can't afford it and they're getting nothing from it. But then there's others that swear by it because they know nothing else. So at the end of the day, it's obviously all up to you what you do. But this was my rambling 2.25 cents for this kind of thing. Thank you, BookTube.